Hello everyone, this is Suzanne at the Gospel Truth. Welcome back as we continue to study in Revelation. We are zipping along, learning a lot, trying to understand it all, which sometimes is a difficult process, but we're going to do the best that we can. All right, we are starting Revelation chapter 13. Now, I looked through all my 4 books, and wow, trying to come up with the simplest explanation and not getting bogged really down, I am going to go back to our book of Revelation made clear for this chapter. We're going to talk about the 2 beasts. We're going to start with Revelation 13, 1 through 4. But first of all, let's talk about how does Daniel's vision compare with John's vision in Revelation 13. Hopefully, sometime we'll study the book of Daniel. There's a lot of things in Daniel that are repeated in Revelation. The 4 beasts from the sea, Daniel 7, verse 3. In Revelation, 4 beasts from the sea, verses 1 and 2 of chapter 13. Daniel chapter 7, verse 4, the lion. Revelation 13, the lion. The bear, and then the bear is repeated in Revelation. The leopard again in Revelation. Beast with 10 horns. Again, beast with 10 horns in Revelation. Mouth speaking pompous words. In Revelation chapter 13, mouth speaking pompous words. Raging war with the saints. Verse 21 of Daniel, chapter 7. Raging war with the saints. Chapter 13, verse 7. And power for 42 months, 3.5 years, verse 25 in chapter 7 of Daniel. Power for 42 months, chapter 13, verse 5 in Revelation. The table demonstrates how a great deal of Bible prophecy can be understood by comparing Revelation with the Old Testament, and the book of Daniel in particular. It is very important to understand who the major players are in so much of the prophecy revealed in Revelation. Daniel 4 says, "But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase." Let's read Revelation 13, verses 1 through 4. When I stood on the sand of the sea, this is John speaking, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads, 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Now that is quite a picture. Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard. His feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth was like the mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. And I saw of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world marveled and followed the beast. So they worshipped the dragon who gave authority to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" What does all this mean? The evil beast out of the sea is one of the most prevailing characters during the final 3.5 years of the tribulation. Blasphemous name indicates that the Antichrist and his kingdom are strictly and unapologetically against God. Midway through the tribulation, the Antichrist will be killed. Its body, before it can be buried, will be physically invaded by Satan. Satan will have power over all the world. Midway through the tribulation, the Antichrist will be killed. Its body, before it can be buried, will be physically invaded by Satan. Now Satan will have power over all the world. Wow. That sounds very scary. Revelation 13, 5-11. And he was given a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies, and he was given authority to continue for 42 months. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. It was granted him to make war with the saints, to overcome them, and authority was given him over every tribe, every tongue, and nation. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with a sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. What does all this mean? I wonder if John sometimes was scratching his head as he saw these things and describing them. This creature, this beast, which is the Antichrist, not only reviles God and blasphemes him, but also reviles all that are in heaven. During this time, Satan will be worshipped by practically everyone upon the earth. However, no believers in Jesus Christ will worship the Antichrist. Their names are written in the book of life of the Lamb, and they are all those who have called on the name of Jesus for salvation. Verse 10 refers to those saints who bravely and staunchly endured while being persecuted for their faith. Verse 11 marks the arrival of a second beast. He is a constant companion of the Antichrist and will become the head of the religions of the world, as we will learn in Revelation 17. Because the second beast has 2 horns like a lamb, he will appear as a wolf in sheep's clothing. He will teach a false gospel that supports the Antichrist doctrine. He is a liar and is out to destroy men's souls. Revelation 13, 12-18. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs, so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs, which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give birth to the image of the beast. That image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich, poor, free, and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has an understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. What does this all mean? This false prophet, as second in command, will have the world worshiping the Antichrist by forceful means. The false prophet's ability to bring fire from heaven will support his deception, as those who dwell upon the earth will see his supernatural abilities. The false prophet's power is stronger than that of the false prophets of Baal, who tried but were unsuccessful in calling down fire in the days of Elisha, as written in 1 Kings. Because the false prophet exhibits such power, many will believe in the Antichrist. Verse 15 teaches that similar to what Nebuchadnezzar did, the false prophet will have an image of the Antichrist constructed in order for people to worship the image. Incredibly, the image will appear to be alive. The false prophet will require all people to have the mark of the beast. This will bring the entire world into one government, with one economy and one religion. Without the mark of the beast on either one's forehead or right hand, no one will be able to buy or sell goods. Back in Revelation 13:8, it is revealed that some will refuse to worship the Antichrist. They will not have the mark upon them. The mark of the beast is 666. Without this mark, it is virtually impossible for those upon the earth to survive, humanly speaking, or without divine intervention, but they will be delivered. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. And also on my manservants and my maidservants I will pour out my spirit in those days. And I will show wonders in the heaven and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood, before the coming of the great and awesome day of the Lord. And it shall come to pass that whosoever calls upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there shall be deliverance, as the Lord has said, among the remnant whom the Lord calls. That was from Joel 2:28 through 32. All right, that's it for chapter 13 regarding the beast. Sounds like it's going to be a horrible time. People, if they don't have the mark of the beast on their forehead or right hand, they will not be able to buy and sell. But we have to remember, God always takes care of those who are faithful to him to the end. And he will provide. God always will be there for us. And Satan is certainly going to be very deceitful. He is going to demand worship, and he is going to destroy or try to destroy everything that is holy. He hates Christians, and he is out to put them to death. If you don't bow down to him, you'll probably be beheaded. It's frightening reading about these two beasts and how they're going to come to power, how they're going to deceive many. That's why we have to study the scriptures every day. We have to teach them to our children and our children's children. We have to alert them to what's coming so that they can be prepared and accept salvation. People have free will. We can plant the seeds, but it's up to God to give the harvest. And we have read in the Bible the different grounds that the seed fell upon. Some took root, some fell by the wayside, some was choked by weeds. And it's a good thing when that seed that falls bears good fruit. All right, we're going to stop here today. We've just finished chapter 13. Next, we will be doing Revelation 14. God prepares for his judgment. All right, I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson in Revelation. And Lord willing, I'll be back on Monday, and we will pick up at Revelation chapter 14. I will be doing a devotional in a few minutes, so if you have time, join me today for today's devotional. You take care. Have a most blessed day in the Lord. Bye for now.